I'm extremely happy to share a few of my ideas based on my experience and expertise on this topic. So we shall be covering what exactly is the holistic education and what do we understand by multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary education, and how do we understand, defines spiritual education. In the curriculum, how do we integrate various aspects in order to have holistic and multidisciplinary education? Then in holistic learning, there is role of intuitive learning also, not only the learning based on senses, not only learning based on analytical reasoning, not only on rationalistic approach, but beyond that also there is another kind of learning that is called intuitive learning. Only when intuitive learning and analytical learning based on analytical reasoning are combined or integrated with each other, then we call it holistic learning, whole person learning, the entire brain learning. So we must understand the role of intuitive learning also in education. So we will learn various dimensions of this subject. I have two requests to you. One request is, because there are many new terms in my lecture, kindly pay total attention so that if you miss one kind of concept, then it will be difficult for you to follow the lecture. That is one request. Second request is, kindly mute your microphone so that there is no disturbance to others. So with this brief introduction, I shall proceed with the presentation of my lecture in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. So there is problem for the full slide mode, right? So I could not solve that problem. Therefore, I shall be explaining in this mode of presentation, but I have chosen the font, a big font size, so that the slides are very clear to you. This is the topic for today: holistic and multidisciplinary education and choice of students. So I start with the quotation by Rabindranath Tagore. He says, the highest education is that which does not merely give us information, but makes our life in harmony with all existence. That is the opinion of Rabindranath Tagore. So that is possible only with holistic education. Then Rabindranath Tagore founded Viswabharati in the year 1921 in order to provide holistic education to the students in higher education. In the year 1951, Viswabharati became a central university by the Act of Parliament, and Prime Minister is the Chancellor of this university. Then Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya on education. Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya ji believed in holistic education, that is training of mind, body, and the spirit of the students. Training of mind, body, and the spirit of the students. He founded the Banaras Hindu University, BHU, in Varanasi in the year 1916 to provide holistic education. BHU is a still standing example in providing the holistic education. Please note this point. He opined that holistic education means training of the mind, the body, and the spirit. Then Sri Aurobindo, the educational vision. Sri Aurobindo's educational vision was a symphony of holistic growth, again nurturing the body, the mind, and the spirit. His vision illuminated the path to become all-rounded and enlightened individuals. Sri Aurobindo's International Integral School Center of Education, which is international in nature at Pondicherry, was founded on the educational philosophy of Sri Aurobindo. Many integral schools have been established all over India based on his educational philosophy to provide holistic education. Then Swami Vivekananda, education, according to him, Swami Vivekananda, education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain and runs riot there, undigested all your life. We must have life building, man making, and character making assimilation of ideas. If you have assimilated 5 ideas and made them your life and character, you have more education than any man who has got by heart a whole library. That is according to Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya, or VKV it is called, is the academic wing of Vivekananda Kendra, an organization based on Swami Vivekananda's preachings of life reforming principles. VKV operates a chain of schools in different states of India under the project Vivekananda Kendra Shiksha Prasar Vibhag. All these schools implement holistic education. Then Mahatma Gandhi on education. By education, I mean an all-round drawing of the best in child and man, in body, mind, and spirit. Again, in body, mind, and spirit. That is holistic education, according to Mahatma Gandhi. Many educational institutions were founded in India based on the Gandhian philosophy of education. Gandhigram Rural Institute in Tamil Nadu is a standing example which has been founded in the year 1956 in order to provide holistic education. It was declared as deemed to be university in the year 1976 by UGC. Then J. Krishnamurti, G.T. Krishnamurti on education. Reimagining education, cultivating holistic human beings. Based on the educational philosophy of J. Krishnamurti, several schools have been founded all over the world to provide holistic education. For example, the school at Rishi Valley near Madanapalli, Andhra Pradesh, is well known to implement holistic education. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, the first Vice President of India, and also well-known thinker and philosopher, according to him, teachers should be the best minds in the country, the best minds in the society. Only then it is possible to implement holistic education. See, according to Dr. Radhakrishnan, education should be imparted with a view to the type of society that we wish to build. We are working for a modern democracy based on the values of human dignity and equality. These are only ideals. We should make them living forces. Our vision of the future should include these great principles. See, look here. In all these quotations, in all the views of the great teachers, thinkers, and philosophers of India, training of mind, body, and spirit is the meaning of holistic education. Training of mind, body, and spirit. Training of mind and body is understood reasonably well by all of us. However, there are several viewpoints. When I went through the literature, I found 26 different viewpoints regarding spiritual education. What is spiritual education? In this lecture, Secular spirituality is considered spiritual education. What is secular spirituality? What do we understand? Very important point, sir. I draw your kind attention to this point of secular spirituality, which can be implemented in all the colleges and universities anywhere in the world. Secular spirituality is the adherence to a spiritual philosophy without adherence to a religion. Secular spirituality emphasizes the inner peace of the individual rather than a relationship with the divine. It emphasizes the inner peace of the individual rather than a relationship with the divine. Secular spirituality is made up of the search for the meaning outside the religious institution. It considers one's relationship with the self, others in the society, and nature. Right? That is the meaning of secular spirituality. You can understand it in terms of human values. Essentially, that is secular spirituality. One can have human values. One may believe in God, one may not believe in God. That is not a matter. If one believes in human values and implements and lives by it, then he is implementing secular spirituality. He has secular spirituality. He is spiritual in nature. One may belong to a religion, any religion, and one may not belong to any religion at all. Even then, if one tries to understand himself and maintains harmonious relationship with others in the society and maintains harmonious relationship with nature, then we can say he is spiritual in nature. So it has nothing to do with God. It has nothing to do with religion. You may believe in God, you may not believe in God. You may belong to a particular religion, you need not belong to any particular religion. The point is, you must try to understand yourself. You must have harmonious relationship with others in the society and harmonious relationship with nature. Then you are spiritual. So when we talk about training of the mind and body and spirit, that is holistic education. In this sense of secular spirituality, we should understand spiritual education, my dear friends. This is a very important point of my lecture. So that there is no issue in colleges and universities, teachers and students belonging to different faiths, different religious faiths, live together, different cultural backgrounds, live together. But if they understand each other, if they maintain harmonious relationship with each other, that means they have spirituality. So in that sense of secular spirituality, we can train all the students in holistic education, training of mind, body, and secular spirituality. That is holistic education. If you bring in religion into picture, which religion? So many religions are there. If you bring into God into picture, there are students and teachers who are atheists. How do you include them? Therefore, secular spirituality includes everything. If it is understood well, then everything is well with holistic education. This is a very important point, sir. According to American philosopher Robert C. Solomon, spirituality is coextensive with religion. It is not incompatible with or opposite to science or the scientific outlook. You can have scientific outlook, still you can be spiritual. You may belong to a particular religion, still you can be spiritual in nature. You may not belong to any religion, still you can be spiritual in nature. Naturally, spirituality is spirituality without any need for the other world, without any need to bring in the concept of the other world. We have to think of this world. When we talk about spiritual education, we talk about only this world. Spirituality is one of the goals, perhaps the ultimate goal of philosophy. Very important, sir. The holistic education thus includes cognitive domain, that means related to mental process, related to thinking process. Then psychomotor domain, related to physical activities, related to with all physical activities. Then physical education, training related to body, that is games, sports, physical exercises including yoga. And also secular spiritual education related to understanding of self, relationship with nature and others, human values and meditation. Please reflect upon this. Now, finally, after discussing the viewpoints of great teachers, thinkers, and philosophers in the country, after trying to understand our own way, what is spirituality, secular spirituality, finally we have defined what is holistic education. Please reflect upon this for 30 seconds. Holistic education thus includes cognitive domain related to mental process, thinking process, psychomotor domain related to physical activities. Then physical education, very important, sir, in all colleges and universities, training related to body, that is games, sports, including yoga. Then secular spiritual education related to understanding of self, relationship with nature and others, human values and meditation. Very important. So this is one of the important points of my lecture. We have now defined what is holistic education. When holistic education is implemented in the schools, colleges, and universities, the individuals are truly educated and live in harmony with all existence around them. Holistic education can only be said as education in its true sense. Holistic education includes design of multidisciplinary curriculum, innovative and flexible curriculum, and its implementation by providing the necessary infrastructural facilities and using the appropriate pedagogical practices. Holistic education was implemented in the ancient universities in India, sir. I shall give here only 2 examples. For example, in Takshashila, also called Taxila, and Nalanda. Takshashila dates back to 5th or 6th century BC to 5th century AD. It was established in Gandhara, now in Pakistan. The Vedas and the 18 arts, which included skills such as archery, hunting, and elephant roll, were taught in addition to the law school, medical school, and school of military science. The Ayurvedic healer, Charaka, studied at Takshashila. Ardhashastra by Chanakya or Kautilya was composed at Takshashila only. Holistic education was implemented at both Takshashila and Nalanda. The University of Nalanda, old university, not the modern university, 5th century to 12th century AD in India, was one of the greatest achievements of the ancient period in the field of education in India. It was one of the world's first residential universities. It had over 10,000 students and 2,000 teachers on the campus. That is with the faculty-student ratio of 1:5. We do not have right now the faculty-student ratio of 1:5 in any institution in the country. In IITs, it is 1:10. In central universities, it is 1:10. In NITs, it is 1:12. In most of the state universities and private colleges, it is between 1:15, and in some of the private colleges, it is 1:25. Okay. Students studied in Nalanda University. Students studied science, astronomy, medicine, and logic as diligently as they applied themselves to metaphysics, philosophy, Samkhya, Yoga Shastra, the Vedas, the scriptures of Buddhism, from foreign philosophy, transcending ethnic and national boundaries. The university attracted peoples and scholars from Korea, Japan, China, Tibet, Indonesia, Persia, Turkey, and other parts of the globe. Nalanda represents the concept of the university of the ancient period. That concept is relevant even today, as seen in NEP 2020. Both Nalanda and Takshasala implemented holistic and multidisciplinary education. Now, we shall try to understand. So far, I have explained very clearly what is holistic education. Now we shall try to understand the meanings of the terms multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary education. Multidisciplinary education implies the study of an academic program consisting of courses from multiple different disciplines, right, of the same academic program. Perspectives from different disciplines create a broader understanding of the major disciplines of the academic program. The student crosses the boundaries of the disciplines, but the disciplines keep their own identity. For example, in BTech Computer Science and Engineering, for example, they study not only computer science, they study mathematics, physics, chemistry, electronics, electrical engineering, several disciplines of study. Similarly, if you consider BA economics and civics majors or economics and political science majors, they study those subjects, more courses, but they also study some other courses, always, right? Elective courses, disciplinary electives, and open electives, several other courses also they study. So it is multidisciplinary education only. Disciplinary, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary domains of learning are depicted diagrammatically in the next slide. See here. So here, this is disciplinary. A single purple sphere is denoted. It is single discipline. For example, certificate courses of only one discipline. Then multidisciplinary. So many disciplines of the students study. All the undergraduate programs are multidisciplinary in nature. So the disciplines keep their own identity. But the student, as he studies so many disciplines, he crosses the boundaries of the disciplines. He will connect the knowledge from different disciplines. He will become much more broader in knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Right? But disciplines keep their own identity. Mathematics keeps identity, physics keeps identity, chemistry keeps identity, electrical engineering, all keep identity. But the student is able to see the connections between various disciplines of study. He crosses the barriers of various disciplines of study. That is multidisciplinary. All undergraduate programs are multidisciplinary in nature. Then what is interdisciplinary? You see here, the yellow region. Yellow region is the boundary region between the purple and green, this yellow region. This is interdisciplinary in nature, right? So this does not belong to purple region. This does not belong to green region. But this region is influenced by purple and also green, right? But this is totally different from the parental disciplines, right? This is interdisciplinary, this region. Very important. Interdisciplinary courses are very important in higher education. Then look at this, sir. There are two disciplines. When the two disciplines intersect with each other, you see here the white region. This white region is transdisciplinary domain of knowledge. When the student studies both the disciplines and tries to see the beauty of the disciplines, and then he transcends both the disciplines, right? That means he is able to create new knowledge, which is different from either of the disciplines. He is able to construct new knowledge by his research, by his innovation. That is transdisciplinary domain of knowledge. Very important. Even in undergraduate education, transdisciplinary domain of knowledge is very important when the students are given the research projects. NEP 2020 provides opportunity to do research project in terms of honors with research. I advise all the students, you take up the courses honors with research, with a research project. Then you will see the beauty of learning only through when you have done the research. That is very important. UGC has given an alternative. In the place of a research project, one can do 3 courses of 4 credits each for 12 credits. But I advise all the students to do the research projects. My sincere advice to all the participants here, to advise your students to take up the research projects. The institution culture should be in such a way that research project is made mandatory for all the students in higher ed, including undergraduate education, not only PG education. In some of the universities, they were having debates whether we should have project or not. Then I advised them, you should have project. Make project mandatory. Unfortunately, many universities have, even in postgraduate programs, have project as optional. Instead of project, they can do some courses. That is not correct. Let the project be made mandatory in undergraduate education and also postgraduate education, so that students have opportunity to go beyond the disciplines of knowledge and then construct new knowledge by themselves. Then they will enjoy learning. They will be highly motivated for self-learning and lifelong learning, which is one of the important graduate attributes as per UGC. For some professionally, vocationally, and technically oriented courses, curricula, in higher education, they may focus on teaching material related to a single discipline. By contrast, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary teaching results in improved, effective, and cognitive learning, critical thinking, and offers learners the opportunity to obtain a broad general knowledge base. Very important. Right. According to oxforddictionaries.com, multidisciplinary is an adjective that describes combining or involving several academic disciplines. or specializations in approach to topic or a problem. Interdisciplinary is also an adjective that describes of relating to more than one branch of knowledge. Transdisciplinary is also an adjective that describes to more than one branch of knowledge. So what exactly is the difference? According to Lakehead University's Essential Guide to Writing Research Papers, multidisciplinarity contrasts disciplinary perspectives in additive manner, meaning two or more disciplines each provide their viewpoint on a problem from their perspectives. Multidisciplinarity involves little interaction across the disciplines. There is no interaction across the discipline in multidisciplinarity. Whereas interdisciplinarity combines two or more disciplines to a new level of integration, suggesting component boundaries start to break down. Interdisciplinarity is no longer simple addition of parts, but the recognition that each discipline can affect the research output of the other. Then transdisciplinarity occurs when two or more discipline perspectives transcend each other to form a new holistic approach. The outcome will be completely different from what one would expect from the addition of the parts. Transdisciplinarity results in a type xenogenesis, where the output is created as a result of disciplines integrating to become something completely new. Xenogenesis meaning the offspring is totally different from either of the parents. Single discipline courses, certificate courses belonging to single discipline. So most of these certificate courses are offered by IGNOU. Certificate in business skills, beekeeping, yoga, information technology, and human rights, organic farming, visual arts, and applied arts. All these are examples of single discipline courses. Some other examples: C++, Java, web designing, graphics designing, data science, data analytics, data analysis with Python, then R programming, clinical psychology. These are some of the very important examples of single discipline courses. Many diploma courses, 2-year duration, are also of a single discipline. Examples: diploma in foreign languages like German, French, Russian, etc. Single discipline. Diploma in music, single discipline course. Multidisciplinary programs. All the undergraduate academic programs are multidisciplinary in nature. However, these multidisciplinary programs may also consist of interdisciplinary courses. Interdisciplinary courses. For example, BTech program in metallurgical engineering includes courses in like corrosion science. Corrosion science is an interdisciplinary course between electrochemistry and metallurgical engineering, which I have taught for several years. It is an open elective for all branches of engineering. Then bachelor program in law consists of courses such as environmental law, which is an interdisciplinary course between environmental studies and law. Sociology of law, an interdisciplinary course between sociology and law. Right. Bachelor of Education includes educational technology, which is also an interdisciplinary course. You can think of, my dear friends, in your curriculum, when you revise your curriculum next time, you think of introducing advanced interdisciplinary courses. Please remember this point. The students will enjoy such courses. When you teach, you will enjoy such courses, teaching such courses. You give the students projects, interdisciplinary research projects. Right. Very, very important, sir. Let the students proceed towards transdisciplinary domain of knowledge by doing research. That is very, very important. In some of the universities and colleges, I observed they implement mini projects for several courses. Most important, please try to see wherever possible, especially all the problem-oriented courses. Even for economics, you can implement mini project. Accounts, you can implement mini project. Sociology, political science, even social sciences, you can implement mini projects also. Humanities, creative writing, in English, creative writing, you can implement a mini project. Okay. Journalism and mass communication, investigative journalism, you can implement a mini project. Not only in science and engineering, in social sciences and humanities also, there is a large scope to implement mini projects in many courses. That is possible, sir. Please think of it. This kind of writing 2 minors and 1 end semester, or 3 minors, 1 end semester, 2 minors and 1 mid and 1 end semester, all this is very old. Giving them scope to do mini projects and major projects is the order of the day, so that they see the beauty of learning in interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary domains of knowledge. Interdisciplinary programs, not only courses, you have interdisciplinary academic programs also. You can start in your colleges and universities, interdisciplinary academic programs. Right? So some of the programs have very high employment opportunities also. For example, bioinformatics, MSc in bioinformatics, MTech in bioinformatics, which is interdisciplinary between computer science or information technology and life sciences. Interdisciplinary program, academic program. Then you have computational, right? Computational natural sciences, interdisciplinary between computer science and physics and chemistry. MSc in health psychology, a great interdisciplinary academic program. MSc in health psychology. They have great opportunities in hospitals today, psychologists, right, for counseling. They have great employment opportunities. MSc in health psychology, it is offered in some of the universities. MTech in environmental biotechnology, an interdisciplinary between environmental science and biotechnology, environmental biotechnology. Right. Like that, you can think of interdisciplinary academic programs, interdisciplinary research projects, transdisciplinary research projects. You can think of. Then the students will have the, what is called the, will be highly motivated, sir. Single discipline education is not good enough. Even multidisciplinary, you have to go beyond multidisciplinary education by incorporating interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary education into your both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. That is how the world is moving. So, and the students also will be highly focusing, highly interested, highly motivated, sir. Transdisciplinary education, however, it needs very high degree of collaboration between different departments, and teachers belonging to different disciplines. Examples, projects executed by the students in the interdisciplinary academic programs, executing research projects sponsored by the industry, executing consultancy projects, executing collaborative projects between different departments. Teachers belonging to different departments can involve themselves in collaborative research projects. I have executed 9 research projects. All 9 research projects are collaborative research projects, major projects, sponsored by CSIR, Naval Research Board, DST, etc. UGC, etc. Right. So collaborative research projects between two individuals of the same department, between two faculty members of different departments, between two individuals of different institutions. That's also collaborative project. All the three kinds of collaborative projects you can have, and your students can be involved in all those projects. I am of the opinion you can employ PhD students besides that for some kind of activity by paying some honorarium. You can involve undergraduate students and postgraduate students also in research projects without any prejudice to their actual study. They can work in the evening hours, they can work in holidays. By payment of honorarium, you can involve undergraduate students and postgraduate students also in research projects, besides the doctoral students. That is how we have to move forward, sir, in this direction. Multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary education programs are of great relevance in education, higher education. Multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary education nurtures the students to take up complex real-world problems and contribute to innovative solutions. We have to train the students in such a manner, sir. The graduates produced from the colleges and universities in the country should be able to tackle complex real-world problems and find out the innovative solutions. Right. This approach has led to original methods, concepts, and solutions emerging. Many major discoveries in the world have been made by interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary research by researchers from different disciplines. So I have kept here at the center chemistry. This slide may not be visible to you. At the center, you have chemistry, my parental discipline. It has link with so many other disciplines of knowledge: forensic science, physics, mathematics, engineering, computer science engineering, electrical engineering, medicine, even politics also, in warfare, right? You should be able to see that you are not attacked by the chemical weapons. Chemistry is the central subject for so many disciplines of knowledge. Similarly, you try to find out your discipline of knowledge, how it is connected to so many different disciplines of knowledge. You will enjoy that. And then find out which kind of interdisciplinary courses will be useful to the students. You offer them as electives, interdisciplinary courses as electives. Role of the faculty members, design of the curriculum. Faculty members have to follow the latest trends in the advancement of knowledge in their discipline, and also frontier areas and relevance of courses to the field needs of the society, and also students, and revise the curriculum of any given academic program by including interdisciplinary courses as core or as electives as applicable. Sometimes you may include them as core also, but very often you can easily accommodate them as elective courses. Faculty members have to update their knowledge on a continuous basis to be competent enough to teach the newly introduced interdisciplinary courses. Pedagogical practices. Look at this, sir. Curriculum design, introducing interdisciplinary courses. Curriculum design with interdisciplinary academic programs is very, very important. You have to move forward in curriculum design, which is useful, with courses useful to the society and also to the interest of the students. That is, choice-based credit system is very, very important, sir. Not only on paper, in reality, you have to implement choice-based credit system, which is the most important system, right? Which was implemented by UGC way back 2013 in ROSA document, but in implementation it has taken a couple of years. By 2015, it was in place. It is one of the best systems in the world. So curriculum design with interdisciplinary courses, curriculum design with interdisciplinary academic programs is very important. Curriculum design with choice-based credit system is very important, no doubt. And equally important are pedagogical practices, teaching and learning methods which we use, sir, very important, sir. When we teach any course, we have to implement the student-centric pedagogy. We have to make the students see the interconnections between different concepts of a discipline, and also the interconnections between related disciplines of knowledge. That is how our pedagogy has to be dynamically changed. We have to reorient ourselves. That's what I used to do for so many years. I used to, for every unit, I used to review and give the assignments to the students, combining 2 or more concepts, combining 2 or more units. And I also used to make them see connections between, being in chemistry, connections with physics, connections with metallurgical engineering, connections with chemical engineering, connections with mechanical engineering. They used to enjoy when they used to see such connections. So pedagogical practices are very, very important in holistic and multidisciplinary education. For doing this, we need to have mastery of knowledge and deep insight, not only in our discipline, but also in frontier area. That is important, sir. Frontier areas. You identify frontier areas for your discipline. You should have knowledge in frontier areas also, update knowledge on a continuous basis. Then the students will be able to learn the art and science of learning and soon become holistic learners and see the knowledge as a whole. When you are, as a teacher, are a holistic learner, when you are able to see the interconnections between different disciplines of knowledge and make your pedagogy relevant to that way, then your students soon become holistic learners. They will then have critical thinking and problem-solving skills and try to solve any complex problem, real-world problem, with greater confidence and ease. This is what is needed in higher education, and not dumping a lot of information. Please reduce the syllabus in order to do all this. I have been advocating to reduce the syllabus to an extent of 30%. You remove whatever is redundant, whatever is obsolete, whatever is outdated, you remove that. You remove the content which can be learned by the students by self-learning. Self-learning has to be encouraged in the form of assignments. That is very, very important. So curriculum design is important in holistic and multidisciplinary education. Pedagogical practices are equally important. Then research and consultancy, the third component of holistic and multidisciplinary education. Interdisciplinary research centers. Every university must establish interdisciplinary research centers, which include faculty members from different related disciplines. While the university provides the basic research facilities, the research groups can equip further with advanced facilities through sponsored research projects from different funding agencies. Departments are only for the sake of convenience. There should be greater collaboration between faculty members of different departments, especially in research. Through interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary research, the research teams can work on advanced and frontier areas, resulting in original and new knowledge. Please note this point, original and new knowledge. Transcending the disciplines involved. This original new knowledge must form the base. It must show a path and direction for other researchers in the world. The research groups can also take up consultancy projects. This is another very, very important point, sir. The new fields are emerged in other countries, especially in the developed countries. Then, based on that, we follow, we produce doctorates. It is not original research, it is imitative research. Right? Original research involves a great deal of imagination, a great deal of effort, a great deal of collaboration. Only Sir C.V. Raman in science, having worked in India, was a Nobel laureate. Only one Nobel laureate in India. That is because we are not focusing on original knowledge. Totally original knowledge. That is possible only when we focus on transdisciplinary education. Greater deal of collaboration between researchers from different departments. Greater deal of collaboration between different institutions. Very important. We put on our objectives in our mission statements. Collaborate with national and international organizations. We also enter into MOUs with other institutions. But in reality, how many sponsored or not sponsored research projects we have really done with collaboration with outside institutions? That is the function of universities. Universities should come together. Universities are now living in isolation. Departments are living now in isolation. The faculties members are living in isolation. Therefore, students are also learning in isolation. Right? That is not correct, sir. There should be greater networking between departments in an institution. There should be greater real networking between different colleges and universities. And transdisciplinary domain of knowledge has to be there, has to be encouraged. There should be networking between research laboratories and universities. There should be networking between industries and the universities. Industry-institute interaction is, all the reports say that India lacks very much, is lagging behind industry-institute interaction. Industry does not have confidence on the universities. The universities also are not confident of solving the research problems of the industry in time-bound research problems, the universities also are not confident. This important problem has to be addressed. Industries and institutions should come together. In many universities in the developed countries, industries have their pilot plants in the universities. Universities survive with a great funding from the industries, not from the tuition fees of the students. For all the facilities, they get huge funding from the industries because they work the collaborative projects with industry. That is very, very important. Mentoring of young faculty members, the senior-most faculty members, and other senior faculty members must mentor the newly recruited faculty and other young faculty to enable them to reorient themselves in pursuing interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary teaching, research, and consulting. One more important point, sir. The young faculty must be encouraged to submit the research projects as the principal investigators. Mentioning about the collaborative research project, collaborative research within the departments, between different institutions. There should not be any hierarchy in submitting the collaborative research projects. Even the youngest faculty member can be the principal investigator and the head of the department can be the co-principal investigator. It depends upon the expertise and the knowledge, not on the hierarchy, not on the seniority. This kind of hierarchy should be broken, sir, in colleges and universities. There should be greater autonomy of learning and research in colleges and universities, sir. Very important. So far, I have discussed holistic education. Then especially, I have defined what we mean by spiritual education in terms of secular spiritual education. We have defined holistic education means training of mind, body, and spirit. Spirit means secular spiritual education, which includes human values, meditation, harmonious relationship with others in the society and nature. Then we try to understand multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and transdisciplinary education, which are to be implemented with in true spirit. And how do we design the curriculum in interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary approach? How do we reorient our pedagogical practices? How do we carry out research? How do we mentor the young faculty? All these aspects have been discussed so far. Then, when I mentioned holistic education, I mentioned the role of human value. Human values is an important component of holistic education. Therefore, we have to understand what are the human values, what are the core human values according to UGC, how to integrate the human values, how to integrate games and sports and community service in higher education. All that we have to discuss now. So I am going to discuss on human values in higher education. Only then you can talk about holistic education. Without human values, it is not holistic education. It is not holistic curriculum. It is fragmented curriculum. Before that, I am presenting before you an abstract from the homepage of uhv.org.in. UHV stands for Universal Human Values. So the importance of universal human values is mentioned on the homepage of uhv.org.in, the website. All great people of the world have tried to realize the truth and to live by it in terms of love and compassion. They have tried to understand themselves as human beings, understand the underlying harmony in nature, in existence. They have tried to understand the role of the human beings in nature, in existence, to live by it and to develop an equitable and just society. Very important. An equitable and just society, which ensures the well-being of all. That is the role of human values in the society. When the individual becomes a holistic human being, not a fragmented human being, he is in harmony, total harmony with others in the society. Then what does he do? He will not be self-centered. He will work for the equitable and just society, which ensures the well-being of all. That is what is important. And the universities and colleges are important institutions where so many young students are educated. Now the gross enrollment ratio means the percentage of youth in higher education in a particular age group of 18 to 23. So in the age group of 18 to 23, how much percentage is there in higher education in India? It is 28.4%. As per the latest survey of All India Survey on Higher Education, 2021-22 result. After that, there was no report. The latest report is 2021-22. According to that report, the gross enrollment ratio is 28.4% in higher education. That means for every 100 youth in the age group of 18 to 23, 28 youth are in higher education. That means, so if this 28 out of 100 become holistic in nature, they will have a great impact on the society. They will work. If they themselves are holistic individuals, they will definitely work for equitable and just society. An equitable and just society ensures the well-being of all. That is very, very important, sir. Now, I am presenting before you the revised guidelines on inculcation of human values and professional ethics in higher education. That is called Mulya Pravah 2.0. Revised guidelines after NEP 2020 is implemented. UGC has revised the guidelines on inculcation of human values and professional ethics in higher education. Right? This document is very important, sir. I have given the reference here. It is available in the internet. Please go through the document, a very important document. It proposes the curriculum. This document, Mulya Pravah 2.0 document, released by UGC proposes the curriculum and also pedagogy of higher education institutions to develop deep respect towards fundamental duties and constitutional values among students, bonding with one's own country, and conscious awareness of the roles and responsibilities in a changing world, including universal human values of truth, meaning satya, righteous conduct, meaning dharma, peace, meaning shanti, love, meaning prema, non-violence, meaning ahimsa, then scientific temper, citizenship values, and also life skills. An integral part of holistic education includes lessons in seva and our service and participation in community service programs. This is the extract I am presenting before you from the foreword of the chairman of University Grants Commission, Professor Jagadish Kumar, M. Jagadish Kumar. Right. So now UGC has identified some core human values to be implemented in all the institutions of higher education. Values and ethics for stakeholders. That is mentioned. Who are the stakeholders, sir? The stakeholders are, in any university or college, principal, if it is a college, vice chancellor, if it is a university. He is the stakeholder. He is one of the stakeholders. Then teaching staff, supporting staff, technical staff, then students. All are stakeholders. When we say values and ethics, these are for all the stakeholders, not only for the students. These values and ethics are applicable for the principals, for the vice chancellors also, for the teachers, for non-teaching staff, all. Whoever is there in higher education institution, all are stakeholders, and these values and ethics given by UGC are applicable to all. I would say it should start with the principal or vice chancellor, top to bottom. It should be implemented by all the teachers, then the non-teaching staff. So there is a culture in the university or college. In that culture with human values, the students naturally will grow in that particular culture. That culture will have great impact on the students. Those students also become holistic individuals. Students also are endowed with the human values. That is very important, sir. So once again I am telling, these values and ethics are for all the stakeholders, principals, vice chancellors, teachers, non-teaching staff, and students. Not only students. Please remember, note this point. These are the values and ethics for stakeholders given by UGC document. This must be in your curriculum. There is no choice. You should have in your curriculum all this. In the curriculum on value education. Value education is compulsory in all the undergraduate education programs. Right. Integrity. Number one, integrity. How does the UGC define integrity? Adhere to conduct duties in a righteous manner and in accordance with the principles of honesty, trust, transparency, and fairness. That is integrity. So the principal and the vice chancellor should have integrity. The teacher should have integrity. The non-teacher staff should have integrity. Then naturally the students will grow in integrity. They will, as graduates, they come out, they go into the society with integrity, because that should be nurtured in the colleges and universities, integrity. Second value, trusteeship. Operate in an efficient, ethical, and true manner while ensuring group participation and a system of checks and balances within an institution. Harmony, balance diversity and differences through a culture of tolerance, discussions, and forgiveness among stakeholders. Stakeholders I have already defined. Then accountability, enable the environment of openness and trust to accommodate mistakes and encourage individuals to take responsibility for their actions. Then fifth, inclusiveness, adopt standards, policies, and procedures to promote and ensure equal opportunity without discrimination against any individual or group for education, for employment, for promotion, and other activities in an institution. Then sixth, commitment, be dedicated to the vision and mission of the institution while acquiring knowledge, skills, and attitudes to achieve excellence in due time and within regulatory boundaries. Number 7, respectfulness, create an environment of mutual respect, trust, and quality interaction, as well as fair participation by the functionaries and beneficiaries of the institution. Number 8, belongingness, foster a shared vision of the institute to make everyone feel secure, supported, accepted, and included. Then 9, sustainability, ensure optimal resource utilization, economic and environmental and social, to achieve a long-lasting and safe future. Then 10, constitutional values, commitment to the spirit of the Constitution. So you can include all the constitutional values into your curriculum. Global citizenship, be a responsible global citizen. So around these values, you can build the curriculum for a minimum of 2 credits. Some universities have included 2 courses with 2 credits each. I shall give that example. So these are the core values given by UGC in Mulya Prabha 2.0 to be included into the curriculum of any undergraduate education program for a minimum of 2 credits. Integrating human values in higher education. Many universities and colleges in India have included courses in human values and professional ethics in their curricula in the undergraduate programs. For example, IIIT Hyderabad included 2 courses on value education with 2 credits each in the undergraduate curricula of different academic programs. UGC has given the curriculum framework for the human values and professional ethics. Within this framework, all the universities and colleges in India must include the courses on these important topics, which I have already discussed. IIIT Hyderabad is exceptional. It has 2 courses on human values for 4 credits. What about physical education courses, which include games, sports, and courses in fine arts in our undergraduate program? You can see yourselves this curriculum as an example of IIIT Hyderabad. In semester 1, they have value education 1 course with lecture hours 2, tutorial hour 1, 2 credits. Value education 2, again 4th semester, lecture hours 2, tutorial hour 1, 2 credits. So for value education, they have provided 4 credits. Then arts. They have provided arts means here in their meaning fine arts. All kinds of fine arts based on the choice of the students. They have provided a variety of what is called for even 20 students can take up one kind of course like that. Again, several courses they have in fine arts, depending upon the interest of the student, choice-based credit system. Practical 2, arts. Theory 2, total credits 2. Semester 1, 2 credits. Similarly, semester 2, 2 credits. Sports, practical 2 hours, 1 credit in all 4 semesters, first 4 semesters in undergraduate program. IIIT Hyderabad is basically an engineering institute. In an engineering, all programs are engineering programs. In engineering programs, undergraduate programs, they have 4 credits for value education, 4 credits for games and sports, 4 credits for fine art. So total 12 credits out of 161 credits for BTech program. So about 7% for these courses. It's a model curriculum which should be emulated by all the institutions. Very often there is a question to me in such programs, what about our courses? When we introduce games and sports credits, value education credits, art some credits, are we not reducing our core curriculum, core courses? It is possible while maintaining your core courses without doing any injustice to your courses. It is possible to accommodate these courses. IIIT Hyderabad has been implementing this for more than 15 years. Right. And students are very much interested. How can you say without games and sports it is holistic education? How can you say without arts it is holistic education? How can you say without value education it is holistic education? It is not holistic education. So IIIT Hyderabad is implementing holistic education. Very few other universities in the country are implementing like that. Colleges and universities are providing some slots for games and sports, but zero credit courses. That is not correct. Another example I shall give you. IIT Madras have provided an elective course, Introduction to Music, engineering programs. Introduction to Music is an elective course. It is a real choice-based credit system. There are examples in India itself, good examples in India itself, implementing holistic and multidisciplinary education. We need not look for the examples in other countries. In India itself, we have. The model implemented in IIIT Hyderabad is implemented in some of the universities in India. However, in some of the universities and colleges, activities in sports, games, and ethics, values and ethics are implemented without assigning any credits. When no credits are assigned, the students will not take the courses seriously. Courses in fine arts are implemented in programs in arts in many universities and not in engineering and science programs. Right. In some of the universities, for example, Gandhigram Rural University, Tamil Nadu, there are 4 credits for fine arts. for all the students. For all, the entire, there are about 3,000 students in the university. All 3,000 students take fine arts, have to take fine arts. NSS and community service. The above programs are implemented in most of the universities. But in some universities, the activities are implemented more seriously, involving all the students, at least for 1 year during their study of 3 or 4 years. I must give here example of community service in Gandhigram Rural University, Gandhigram, Tamil Nadu, which is one of the models for community service. Every week, one afternoon, right, the students, 3 to 5 students and faculty have to go to the nearby community and then do some activity for the benefit of the community. Depending on the discipline of study, they can choose that. They can choose that. Besides this, they will have 1 week camp in the villages for the benefit. They will work for the benefit of the villages. Right. The entire university lives in the villages for 1 week in a semester, including the vice chancellor. Vice chancellor will not sit in his office. He will be moving from one village to another village. Every semester, 1 week. So in a year, 2 weeks, the entire university works in villages. When Professor Yashpal was the chairman of University of Grants Commission long ago, there was a proposal to include community service as per the Gandhigram University model in all the universities. There was resistance from the vice chancellors of the universities. No, it is not possible with us. We don't have transport. We have transport problems. No, this will not work in our university. Therefore, it was left. It was left with the university. It was not made mandatory. So IIIT Hyderabad students teach computer literacy skills in the slums around, to the students in slums around. That's also community service. NIT Warangal adopted a few villages in close proximity for the betterment of the villages. So adopting the local community to work the local community is definitely a very important component in holistic education. Community service is an integral part of holistic education. So it is 4:32 now. We shall have a break for 5 minutes, because continuously you cannot listen to me, or I cannot listen to anybody for 3 hours continuous. Let us have a break for 5 minutes. Then I will continue further. Okay, friends? Friends, we shall see now, as per the UGC revised choice-based credit system, that is multidisciplinary curriculum. Revised UGC choice-based credit system. So what are the various course categories which you have to implement? I have given the reference at the bottom of the slide. The multidisciplinary curriculum must consist of core courses, major disciplines, other related disciplines, supporting disciplines, core courses, very important. Electives, discipline-specific electives, interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary electives, generic electives, then ability enhancement compulsory courses, including value education and environmental studies. And you also have compulsory courses, you also have English or modern Indian language for communication. One of the two you must have. Then skill enhancement courses. Then value-added courses. Value-added courses are different from value education. Please note this point. Value-added courses mean that will be helpful to the students to obtain employment. That is the meaning of value-added courses. Then summer internship for 6 to 8 weeks, summer internship. Then research project in case of 4 years honors degree with research for 12 credits. Honor students not undertaking research will do 3 courses for a total of 12 credits in the place of a research project or dissertation. However, my advice, sincere advice is you encourage the students to opt for the research projects. Right? This is multidisciplinary curriculum, revised choice-based credit system. See, when you say choice-based credit system, the electives you offer may have to be changed every year. In real choice-based credit system, the electives, maybe you may have to add new electives every year. Why should you add new electives? Because the group of students every year is different. Their interests may be different. Their choices may be different. Based on their choices, you have to include new electives in your curriculum, right? That is real choice-based credit system. You see, in most of the universities and colleges in India, as I observed, it is only on paper. There are 4 electives on paper, right? So there are 60 students, for example. So the college will say, this semester, we will offer only this elective. Out of 4 electives, only this elective we will offer this semester. The other 3 electives we will not be offering. Then how can it be choice-based credit system? It is not. On paper you have. Reality means you have to offer all the 4 electives. The students, so even you can put a guideline. The elective will be offered if at least a minimum of 10 students take that particular course. That guideline you can keep. Suppose 60 students are there. So they can minimum 10 students with that guideline. 4 electives, they can choose. If they choose only 3 electives, that is fine. It is for the students to choose, not the college to offer. Please note this point, sir. And in real sense, in true sense, every year the electives have to be different. Based on the interest of the students, you have to offer the open electives. Open, especially I am talking about the open electives. Generic electives, not the discipline-specific electives. Open electives, without any prerequisite knowledge. Introduction to music is an open example of an open elective. History of science and technology is an example of open elective. Right. Corrosion science, which I used to teach, was also an open elective, but engineering branches. It is an engineering institution. Right. So like that, without prerequisite knowledge, so these open electives may be changed every year depending upon the interest of the students. So you have to implement in true spirit this multidisciplinary curriculum. Skill-based enhancement courses you should have. Value-added courses you should have. You should organize summer internship. Ability enhancement compulsory courses you should have. Electives you should have, discipline-specific, interdisciplinary. Generic or open, both mean the same. This is as per the revised UGC guidelines. And you have to implement in true sense the choice-based credit system. In addition to the above courses in physical education, yoga, fine arts, NSS and community service programs, hobby clubs, meditation hall for interested students to do meditation. All this comes under holistic and multidisciplinary education. Please note this point. So this PPT is already sent to the organizer, Professor Mohammad Atik. After my lecture is over, this PPT will be shared among all of you. Then what is innovative and flexible curriculum? Very important. A flexible curriculum is the curriculum that can adapt to the changing needs, interests, and abilities of the students and the learning environment. Very few institutions in the country, I must say, are implementing really the flexible curriculum. The curriculum that can adapt to the changing needs, interests, and the abilities of students and the learning environment. It is the student-centric curriculum based on the choice and needs of students. Choice and needs of the students. While core courses and mandatory courses are continued, there is a greater flexibility in the elective courses, which are offered as per the choice of the students. In other words, the elective courses offered may change every year depending on the interests of the students in that batch. New elective courses are introduced in the curriculum based on the latest advances in major disciplines and their relevance to the needs of the students. And the teachers have to be equipped with the newly introduced advanced courses, which they never studied earlier. Therefore, I suggest all the colleges and universities, you revise the curriculum 6 months before you implement. Suppose you are implementing the curriculum from July 2025, new curriculum. You have to revise the curriculum before December 2024 itself. You have to revise. So, and then let the courses be assigned to different teachers, especially the new courses. so that the teacher has the time of 6 months to equip himself or herself with the new course. He never taught that course. First time, it is the advanced course. The teacher also needs time for preparation, minimum of 6 months, to have mastery of knowledge, to have a deep insight in that course. Then you can implement next July if it is ready by this December. And curriculum revision, it's not 1 day job, 2 days job. It needs a minimum of 6 months. Right? Very carefully you have to revise. That means you start revising the curriculum this July. You conduct several workshops, internal workshops, inviting the faculty from outside, eminent faculty, eminent researchers, eminent scientists, and personnel from the industry, your alumni, have deliberate upon the curriculum revision with all the stakeholders. Then go to the board of studies, again with external experts. Then academic council. So curriculum revision has to be done very carefully and thoroughly. Introducing, you have to see the futuristic trends also. By 4 years from now, what are the opportunities for my students? Employment opportunities for my students, you have to consider that. You have to see the futuristic trends. The faculty should be visionaries, especially when you revise the curriculum. All the faculty may not be visionaries, therefore you invite from externally eminent experts who are visionaries in revising the curriculum, not just somebody who are really able to foresee the trends. Right. Interdisciplinary dual degree programs. Examples: BTech in computer science and MS in computational linguistics. BTech in computer science, MS in computational natural sciences. BTech in computer science and MS in bioinformatics. These are the interdisciplinary dual degree programs. They get, within 5 years, they get BTech and MS, 2 degrees. So there are students who may be interested because they will save 1 year. You may be surprised how they can complete the curriculum within 5 years. That is how they design the core courses, elective courses, all that. It is possible. And the final year, 5th year, major time is devoted to the research project. Final year. It is possible. They do additional credits. Now, so far, I have discussed multidisciplinary education, then holistic education with one meaning. One meaning. What is that meaning? Holistic education means theory courses, lab courses, as I have mentioned in the multidisciplinary curriculum, I have mentioned here all this as per the UGC guidelines. In addition to this, physical education, yoga, fine arts, NSS, community service programs, hobby clubs, all this is holistic education, including value education, environmental studies, all this. This is real holistic education. including community service. There is another meaning of holistic education also, which I am going to discuss now. Right? In one sense, we have discussed. This is accepted. Another dimension I am putting forward before you now. Intuitive learning. Right? I'll explain what is that holistic education. First, let me explain what is intuitive learning. The word intuition comes from the Latin verb intuere, or from the Middle English word intuit, that means to contemplate. Use of intuition sometimes referred to as responding to a gut feeling. Gut feeling. I have some gut feeling. I can't explain the reason for that, but I have a gut feeling that this is going to happen. I have a gut feeling this is the cause for this happening, for this incident. Right? Intuition is the ability to acquire knowledge without recourse to conscious reasoning or needing explanation. This is the explanation given in encyclopedia. What is that? Intuition is the ability to acquire knowledge without recourse to conscious reasoning or needing an explanation. Intuition in philosophy is the power of obtaining knowledge that can be acquired either by inference or observation, by reason or experience. Is the power of obtaining knowledge that cannot be acquired either by inference or observation, by reason or experience. This is from Britannica. Now let me quote Albert Einstein on intuition. All of you know very well Albert Einstein is one of the greatest scientists of 21st century. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is the faithful servant. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is the faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the faithful servant and has forgotten the gift. We will not solve the real problems of the world from the same level of thinking with which we were at when we created them. More than anything else, the new century demands new thinking. We must change our materially based analysis of the world around us to include a broader, more dimensional, more multidimensional perspective. Once again, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. This is the quotation by Albert Einstein. Then Steve Jobs, you know very well, the co-founder of Apple, a dropout, but a genius, and he was responsible for many discoveries. I began to realize that an intuitive understanding and consciousness were more significant than abstract thinking and intellectual logical analysis. Intuition is a very powerful thing, more powerful than intellect, in my opinion, that has had a big impact on my work. See, you must listen to Steve Jobs' presidential address in Stanford University. I enjoy it whenever I read that. Listen to that, 15 minutes. He also opined intuition had a great impact on his discoveries. Then Alexis Carrel, Nobel Prize winner, 1912 in physiology or medicine. Alexis Carrel. He opined that all great men and women are gifted with intuition. They know without reasoning or analysis what they need to know. Intuitive knowledge, according to Sri Aurobindo, defines intuition as reason without the influence of the senses. Intuitive knowledge is a direct knowledge, a direct experience of something else. The knowledge can come from inside or from outside. Then Dr. Radhakrishnan, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan said on intuition, intuition is a distinct form of experience. It is self-established, swatasiddha, self-evidencing, swasamvedya, self-luminous, swayam prakash. It is inexpressible. It escapes the limits of language and logic. And there is no conception by which we can define it. The experience itself transcends expression. All creativity and indeed all progress in various spheres of life is the inevitable result of intuition. Great quotation by Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, a great philosopher. In philosophical point of view, you can understand this great quotation. The experience itself transcends expression. That means you cannot express how you got that particular knowledge. Role of intuition in scientific inventions. I shall give a few examples here. Discovery of buoyant force by Archimedes is a classic example of intuition. Discovery of buoyant force by Archimedes is a classic example of intuition. Hero II, king of Syracuse, asked Archimedes, Greek mathematician and physicist, whether the king's crown was really made of pure gold by the craftsman. Because he was a great mathematician and physicist, king asked him to test. While taking bath in a tub, Archimedes noted that as his body sank into the tub, the water overflowed. It instantaneously occurred to Archimedes how he could solve the problem of the purity of the golden crown. And he took that to the street naked, shouting, Eureka, Eureka. In Greek, it means, I have found it. Right? And this is a famous example of intuition. A famous example of intuition. Right? Suddenly, as a flash, it has come to him that I have found it. I have found it. He has not read anywhere. It is not based on any reasoning. It is not based on any experimentation. It is not based on any logic. Simply out of that is intuition. Out of intuition, he could find a solution to the problem given by the king. But he has to prove to the king. He cannot say, it is my gut feeling, it is my intuition. Therefore, this crown is made of impurity, is made of less gold. It has a significant amount of silver. He cannot say that. King will punish him. He has to prove it. But the discovery is because of intuition only. In order to prove to the king, he has done the experiment. What experiment did he do? This is the photograph of Archimedes, 287 BC to 212 BC. Archimedes took the mass of gold equivalent to the mass of the crown and dipped into a holder of water. He recorded the volume of water displaced. Then he took silver equivalent to the mass of the crown and dipped into the same holder of water. He also recorded the volume of water displaced. He found that the volume of water displaced with silver is higher than that with the same amount of gold. This is because the density of gold being higher than that of silver uses less mass of gold. Then he actually dipped king's crown into the same holder of water and recorded the volume of water displaced. He found that the volume of water displaced is between that of gold and silver of the same mass. By this experiment, Archimedes concluded that the king's crown was made of gold containing a significant amount of silver. He then found and he told the king. He did the same experiment before the king also. And king was convinced and king punished the crowns. That is the story. That is the fact. He then found the Archimedes principle, which was stated by him as a body immersed in a fluid experiences a buoyant force equal to the weight of fluid it displaces. So this Archimedes principle is essentially found because of the intuition. The problem was posed by the king. Out of intuition, in order to solve the problem, out of intuition, Archimedes found a solution. The way to a solution. He thought, this is now I can do this experiment. So because he sank into the tub and the water overflowed, then he thought, now I will see how much volume. So immediately it struck to him. It's an example of intuition. Then another example I shall explain, that is discovery of the structure of benzene molecule by Auguste Kekulé, which is also an example of intuition. Frédéric Auguste Kekulé was one of the pioneers of organic chemistry. Kekulé was intrigued with the problem of finding the structure of a compound called benzene. The researchers knew that this molecule consists of 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms. But the challenge was to find a way to group the atoms in order to justify the property. A common fact occurs with some people is that sometimes they can have a certain perception by unconscious process that occur in daydreams, as in the case of Kekulé. Kekulé's dream, the new understanding of benzene and hence of all the aromatic compounds was proved to be so important for both pure and applied chemistry that in 1890, the German Chemical Society organized an elaborate appreciation in Kekule's honor, celebrating the 25th anniversary of the first benzene paper by Kekule. On that occasion, Kekule spoke of the creation of the theory. He said that he had discovered the ring shape of the benzene molecule after having a daydream of a snake seizing its own tail. A snake seizing its own tail. I am showing that. See here, a snake seizing its own tail is in the circle here, and inside snake seizing its own tail, and inside this is the structure of the molecule. So based on, he thought it must be in the ring shape, this structure must be in the ring shape because of the daydream, and then he made the double bonds between C and C, alternate double bonds, right, and showing that there is an electron cloud. Afterwards, there is a lot of explanation. But this ring-shaped structure of benzene molecule was essentially because of his daydream of a snake seizing its own tail. This is another example of intuition in scientific inventions. Carl Rogers, 1983, a great psychologist, emphasized that learning required the experiential learning component. Rogers argued that in order to learn, an individual must engage in whole person learning. Whole person learning. This is the point I want to bring to you. That's why I have brought that intuitive learning concept here. The whole person learning. Traditionally, learning has only focused on the cognitive dimension of learning, or the left brain learning. Rogers believed that in order to really learn, a person must utilize the right brain as well. This is the meaning, another meaning of holistic learning. Earlier, I have explained the usually accepted meaning, one kind of meaning of holistic learning, including the theory courses, lab courses, physical education, value education, fine arts, community service, human values, all that put together, multidisciplinary education. For holistic learning, there is another view here, another dimension of understanding of the holistic learning here. Both the left brain, which is related to the analytical reasoning, and the right brain, which is related to the experiential component, must be involved in the learning process. Only then there is holistic learning of the brain. So far, we are focusing only on the analytical reasoning, the left part of the brain. We are ignoring the functioning of the right brain, that is the experiential component of the right brain. He adds further, in the words of Carl Rogers, significant learning combines the logistic learning, that is left brain activity, LBA, and the intuitive learning is the right brain activity. Right. The intellect, left brain activity, and the feelings, right brain activity. The concept, left brain activity, and the experience, the right brain activity. The idea, left brain activity, and the meaning, right brain activity. So both the activities are important. So the intuition is the right brain activity. So many discoveries happened because of intuition, right brain activity. Later they proved by using the left brain activity, by analytical reasoning, by explanation, by experimenting, all that they have proved by using the left brain activity. But initially, by intuitive learning, the discoveries were made. So this is holistic, another dimension of understanding of holistic learning, whole person learning, the entire learning by the entire brain, the left brain as well as the right brain. Therefore, in research and in important decisions in business management and all other spheres of life, it is necessary that we use analytical reasoning and the intellect, left brain, and the experience and intuition, right brain activity. Analytical reasoning and intellect we must use. At the same time, we must also use our experience and our intuition all together. Only experience and intuition may lead sometimes to wrong conclusions. Right. You may have gut feeling, you may have some intuitive understanding, but at the same time, you have to prove it by using the analytical reasoning, by using experimentation, by using intellect. So, analytical reasoning and intellect, the left brain activity, experience and intuition, the right brain activity, both are important in the whole person learning. This is another understanding of holistic learning I want to put before. Intuitive learning, the context of higher education, individual projects or group projects. It is the best practice that most of the courses include mini projects in the teaching learning process, besides the major projects in the final year. The projects may be open-ended and the project may be chosen by the students from a list of projects suggested by the teacher. Whenever the students do the projects, please guide them, don't direct them. Please note this point. Please guide them, but do not direct them. Directing means showing the way. This is the way you do. This is the result you get. Don't do that. Let them discover. Let them explore. Let them discuss with you. Then you listen to them. Let them give alternatives. You can give some hints but exploration, discovery, all that should be done by the student. You should play only the role of the guide. Please note these points. Interdisciplinary projects with students from different disciplines of knowledge are also desirable. The teacher may guide the student, but not direct the student. The execution of the projects in such a way might include the functioning of both the left brain and the right brain. Group projects by students, jigsaw method. There may be 3 students in a group. The teacher has to design the group projects in such a way that the project has 3 different tasks. Whenever you organize projects, group projects, please follow only jigsaw method, which I am explaining now. There may be 3 students in a group. The teacher has to design the group projects in such a way that the project has 3 different tasks. Each student in the group chooses one task after discussion among the group. Each student performs his or her task. There may be discussion among the group. Peer learning is encouraged. After all the 3 students complete their task, the outcomes of each task are integrated to result in the outcome of the project. In this method, every student is active learner and accountable for execution of his task. Open-ended experiments in the laboratory. There is a large scope for intuitive learning in the execution of open-ended experiments. Open-ended assignments, question answer sessions also nurture intuitive learning. When you say open-ended, there may be more than one solution, more than one approach, more than one answer. Okay. Then there is a large scope for intuitive learning. So you have to nurture intuitive learning. Every brain has the capabilities of analytical reasoning and then intuitive learning. But intuitive learning is not nurtured at all in higher education. We are focusing only on analytical reasoning like that. But intuitive learning, experiential learning must also be encouraged. So open-ended projects, open-ended question answer sessions must frequently be used. Intuitive learning and learning based on analytical reasoning can go together. However, intuitive learning needs a greater degree of contemplation. In this process, the teachers also become intuitive learners. Though traditionally, inductive and deductive methods, analytical reasoning, and critical thinking play a vital role in postgraduate and doctoral thesis, students may be guided in using their intuition also. There is a large scope for intuitive learning at all levels of higher education. Through holistic learning only, using both the left brain and right brain, the students and teachers will be more creative and contribute to original knowledge in their respective fields and also in frontier areas. Now, so far, we have discussed various aspects of holistic and multidisciplinary education in a very, very detailed way. But the question is how to implement it. We have discussed what, but how is very important. Implementation of holistic and multidisciplinary education, challenges and issues. Number one, in recruitment of qualified and competent faculty who are well trained and who believe in holistic and multidisciplinary education. That is the most important challenge and issue. It is very difficult to get qualified and competent faculty who are well trained and who believe in holistic and multidisciplinary education, who have deep insight into holistic and multidisciplinary education. At least who believe in holistic and multidisciplinary education. Number two, design and implementation of the innovative and flexible curriculum. Design and implementation of innovative and flexible curriculum. Number three, implementation of student-faculty ratio as 15:1 or better in all the colleges and universities. 15:1 or better. When I say student-faculty ratio, what I mean is, suppose in an undergraduate program of 4 years, you have 60 students each year, 4 into 60, 240 students. So 240 upon 15, how much you get? About 16. Right? How much you get? Around 15 to 25, 16, around 16. 16 faculty must be there in order to run a 4-year undergraduate program. That is the meaning of student faculty ratio. With that meaning, it is used. That is the meaning with which National Assessment and Accreditation Council accredits programs, institutions, and NBA accredits. This is the meaning used. Providing the necessary infrastructural facilities for games, sports, for all, not for few, for all. Meditation hall, hobbies, students activity center, library facilities for all, reading room facilities, laboratory facilities, digital classrooms. Right. Very important. How many colleges and universities have the games and sports facility for all the students at a given point of time? Very, very few colleges. That is completely ignored. Without the training the body, it is incomplete. It is not holistic education. It is fragmented. Providing a congenial learning environment. In the hostels, if it is a residential university, otherwise, if it is not a residential university, congenial learning environment in the libraries, in the laboratory, in the classrooms, learning spaces outside the classrooms, providing inclusive education in the colleges and universities, inclusive education, wherein differently abled students, students with special needs are given the necessary facilities, necessary tools, necessary softwares, all that inclusive environment. Students from less privileged communities, students, rural students, they should be given, they should be nurtured to have their improvement of their self-efficacy. Societal values and negative influence of the social media. In what kind of society we are living, sir? That is very important question. Societal values are very negative. Are we living in a society with human values? Are we living in a more humane society? No. Exactly the society which is not nurturing the human values we are living in. Therefore, it has a negative impact. On one hand, the institutions of higher education are trying to produce graduates who are holistic in nature. But the same graduates, most of the time, they live in the society. The society throws challenges against human values. So the youth are in contradiction. So the society's negative values have to be overcome by the graduates. Then influence of social media. Great negative impact of the social media on the youth. That is well known. Impact of entertainment industry as a negative factor on learning among the students. Entertainment industry has already taken over. Where is the role of learning? This is also a big challenge. Entry of super AI, artificial intelligence tools into learning. Then where is the role of human mind? Where is the role of teacher? It's a big challenge. We have to face this challenge and then convert it into our advantage. Right kind of parent-child relationship. right kind of teacher-student relationship, big challenges and issues. Serenity, George Orwell, a great writer, said, serenity is impossible to a poor man in a cold country. So cold country is our society. As an analogy, I'm telling, cold country is our society, which is valueless society. And serenity is related to human values. Right? Charles Dickens' famous opening sentence introducing universal approach of A Tale of Two Cities, way back 1859 he wrote. This was the non-tale for us in 1967 when I was in +2. 67. So still it is 57 years ago. Still it had my great impact on my young mind. He reads single sentence, opening sentence. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, and it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct to the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on being received for good or evil in the superlative degree of comparison only. This was written in 1859. Is the above sentence not relevant even today, 2024? It is relevant perhaps for several years in future also. Conclusion. The challenges and issues in the implementation of holistic and multidisciplinary education can be overcome with the collective effort from the governments, vice chancellors, principals of the universities and colleges, and above all, teachers in higher education. Holistic education might lead to holistic individuals who can live in harmony with all existence. Sri APJ Abdul Kalam, ex-president of India, in his speech in Golden Jubilee meeting of European Union, quoted the Tamil philosopher Kaniyan Pungundranar, who said, he quoted the Tamil philosopher Kaniyan Pungundranar, that means the Kaniyan Pungundranar said this following statement: when there is a righteousness in the character, there is beauty in the heart. When there is beauty in the heart, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there is peace in the world. This is the video link. This is the beautiful speech, less than 2-minute speech. This PPT will be shared with all of you, maybe today evening or by tomorrow. Please go through that link. This is one of the best speeches I can say. These are the recommended videos. My channel name is Professor B.V. Apparao. There are many videos, mostly entire pedagogy I have disseminated through these videos. About 32 videos are there in my channel on pedagogy. Holistic education, recommended videos for this lecture are Holistic Education and Secular Spirituality, link I have given. Holistic education, integration of value education, games and sports and community service in higher education. Multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary education. Intuitive learning related to this lecture. But related to pedagogy in higher education, there are 28 more videos in my channel. If you have any doubts, you can listen to those lectures in the videos. You will have clarity on the pedagogy, right? Question answer session. Thank you very much. Question answer session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such a wonderful and insightful sessions. Participants, if you have any questions or the queries, you can directly ask to Professor Apparao, sir. Please, anyone.
Questions, please. I shall be very happy to answer your questions. Questions, please. See, UGC has clearly mentioned that there should be a minimum of 30 minutes for interactive session, right? In the online, all these programs. Therefore, I have provided 30 minutes for question answer session. Any question you ask me related to this topic or any other topic related to pedagogy, based on your experiences, you can ask me questions.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Pavanji, please.
Yeah. Yes, sir. As you said, sir, the number of electives that we should offer every year should be all possible electives, such as if there are 4 electives, we should offer all 4.
Yeah.
And let us assume that all 4 electives are chosen few students.
Yeah.
In that case, as you said, in that case, don't you think that the number of resources, such as the number of faculty, number of classrooms, will pose a problem to conduct this? And in that case,
Yeah.
why doesn't the such as AICT, why doesn't the institutions such as AICT, NBA take into account this, and then should make rules for the number of classrooms that should be allotted to department, the number of faculty strictly should be followed by the department, such
You
as
are quite
16
right.
or 20 per department for an
Excellent. Excellent
and
questions.
when AICT is actually when AICT or NBA is actually relaxing such rules, such as making the ratio allowed to be 1:25 the teacher student ratio. It is relaxing the ratios day by day. Under such circumstances, do you really think it will be practically possible?
Yeah. Actually, earlier, AICT, a few years ago, the student faculty ratio was 15:1 only, right? So,
Yes.
25:1, changing it to 25:1 is against the pedagogical approaches, is against the implementation of holistic and multidisciplinary education, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
your point is, I totally agree with your point. The therefore, challenges and issues I have mentioned, 15:1 or better ratio must be maintained in all colleges and universities. Accordingly, the NAC guidelines have to be changed. NBA guidelines have to be changed accordingly. This point I am putting forward in all forums. Another thing is infrastructural facilities. You have raised a very good point. Yes, once we say choice-based credit system, when we say 4 electives, the students can choose any elective. We have to offer 4 electives. When we have to offer 4 electives for the same course, we need 4 rooms. Definitely, the infrastructural facilities are very important to implement choice-based credit system. Your point is well taken, sir. So AICT and NBA have to insist upon the recruitment of staff for 15:1 or better, insist upon the infrastructural facilities in all colleges and universities. It is a very important point you have put forward. Otherwise, holistic and multidisciplinary education, it is mentioned in NEP 2020, but it cannot be implemented practically. It is a big challenge for the implementation of holistic and multidisciplinary education, adequate faculty, competent faculty, infrastructural facilities are very, very important. I totally agree with your points.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Very good question, Mr. Pavan Upadhyay asked. Any other questions, please?
Yes, any other question from anyone?
The starting was a very good question. I expect some more questions from the participants.
Hello,
Hello?
sir.
Yeah.
Myself, RG Baheti from Akola.
Yeah, please ask me question.
Sir, while we providing holistic education to the student, we are facing a number of problems like infrastructure and e-resources. What we can do for the same?
Yeah, I have mentioned in the one of the challenges, infrastructural facilities.
Yes, sir.
So infrastructural facilities, it is the responsibility of colleges and universities to get funds from corporate social responsibility, from philanthropists.
Okay.
And yeah, that is one suggestion I can immediately give. So
Okay.
because government, private institutions, that is the only way to improve the infrastructural facilities. Actually, in my opinion, the public-private partnership, the government and private institutions together can build institutions, and then philanthropists and funds from corporate social responsibility can be diverted to provide better infrastructural facilities to private colleges. Government colleges and universities, it is the responsibility of the governments to provide better infrastructure facilities.
But
The
government
budget,
does.
yeah, the budget for higher education has to be increased. It is too small. It is a very small percentage for higher education. It should be increased. It should be doubled, in my opinion. Otherwise, in NEP 2020, we say one thing, but in implementation, of course, central universities are better equipped, no doubt about it. I am aware of that. And faculty-student ratio also, central universities 10:1. Student-faculty ratio. Central universities, no issue. No issue of
State
infrastructural
universities.
facilities.
State
State
universities.
universities, all problems. Problem of infrastructural facilities, because no improvement. Every year, no improvement.
Yes,
And
sir.
then if the somebody retires, there is that vacancy is not filled for several years. So only with the contractual faculty, there's many
Yes,
many
sir.
states I have observed,
Yes, sir.
with meager salary, with very small salary,
Yes, sir.
like daily wages salary. How can we think of implementing holistic and multidisciplinary education? Therefore, in my suggestions, in my conclusion, I have mentioned first stakeholder is the government.
Yes, sir.
Government has to do a lot in improving infrastructural facilities, and then in recruiting the faculty on a continuous basis. It is not keeping the vacancies. Throughout the year, the recruitment should go on. People retire in advance, suppose 6 months. After 6 months, one faculty will retire. So the advertisement should go now. By the time the faculty retires, it should be filled. Otherwise, with so many vacancies, so nowhere except central universities, IITs and NITs, nowhere 15:1 faculty student faculty ratio is practically maintained. Nowhere. With
Yes, sir.
competent faculty, right?
More than 50% vacancies are
Vacancies are there. More than 50% vacancies
yes,
are there.
sir.
In some of the departments with only one not even one faculty is there. All only contractual faculty.
Okay.
How
yes.
can we expect implementation of
Holistic
holistic
and multidisciplinary education through NEP? Is this possible, sir?
It is possible only when there is a will of the government.
Okay, okay, sir.
That's why in my conclusion, I first mentioned the government. The government's role has to be fulfilled. Central universities, no issue. They are recruiting on a continuous basis. There is no issues. They have very good infrastructural facilities, no issue. State government universities and private universities and colleges. Private colleges and universities also, student faculty ratio is 25:1.
Yes, sir.
Because 25:1 is allowed by NEP. So
Yes,
NEP
sir.
guidelines have to be changed. So in order to change the NEP, though NEP is the autonomous body, but it has the role of the government to influence NEP also, to change the guidelines. So
Yes.
why they have changed the guidelines? Once upon a time, the guideline was 15:1. Why they have changed the guideline? To please the private colleges and universities.
In sir, I am working in a traditional college. We are unable to raise the fund through corporate and other private industries.
Yeah, actually, there is that is the role of leadership.
Yes.
There is role of leadership that the principal and the vice. For example, Banaras University was founded by Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya.
Yes, sir.
It is completely by private donations.
Yes.
Later, government has taken over.
Okay.
Vishnu Bharati by Rabindranath Tagore, entirely by private donations. Later, it was taken over by the government. Similarly, SNDT University, Women's University, completely by private donations, philanthropists. Later, government was taken over, taken over. So, this corporate social responsibility funds and philanthropies, and more important is, you see, it is like this. The first thing is government should increase the budget of higher education.
Okay.
Let the government colleges and university be in right place.
Yes.
Then there will be good competition for the private colleges.
Okay.
In order to be at par with government colleges and universities, private colleges and universities also will raise funds. Or so another model for is, especially when there are science programs and engineering programs. Now it is multidisciplinary university model is there. Every university should have science programs and engineering programs. Then we have to go a long way in having industry institute interaction. When you have industry institute interaction, more industry institute interaction, you can get funds from the industry, from the corporate social responsibility from the industry.
But industry cannot provide the fund to the traditional colleges like BA and BCom.
No, they cannot. They should have. Therefore, in the NEP 2020, the colleges and universities should have multidisciplinary.
Yes, sir.
That means there in every college there should be engineering and science programs also. That is that is the model. That is the model. Multidisciplinary. It is not separate engineering college, separate arts and science college, separate agriculture college, separate home science college. NEP 2020 has advocated multidisciplinary institutions.
Yes, sir.
So only arts college, only BA and BCom are there. where from you can get funds. There cannot be possibility of industry institute interaction, right? In other, if you see, look at the other countries. In all other countries, they're all multidisciplinary universities.
Yes,
In
sir.
every college, there are science programs and engineering programs. Based on that, they get funds, and those funds can be utilized for other programs, for arts programs, for commerce programs, for management programs also.
Okay,
So
sir.
multidisciplinary university, multidisciplinary college where science and engineering programs are there, and where you can attract funds from industry. So
Okay,
that
sir.
model will work out better than the conventional arts college separate, engineering college separate like that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Very good question. It is actually like opening the Pandora's box.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, please?
So I think there is no more questions.
Yeah.
So if you could permit, shall
Yeah.
we?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So on behalf of the Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, Sant Garge Baba Amravati University and Vidya Bharati Mahavidyalaya Amravati, I extend my sincere gratitude towards Professor B.V. Appa Rao sir for their insightful for conducting here the insightful session. Sir, you have guided lot and present n number of things and n number of challenges that have been faced by the HEIs, specifically the private university and by the state universities. And sir, yes, we have known that these challenges are very big challenges, and there are some solutions that will be happen if government take the initiative. But we being the HEI, it is our responsibility to overcome with these challenges, and we should make the education more holistic towards the development of our national agenda as well as our country and as well as our society. So we assure that sir, we definitely inculcate this challenge, whatever may be the solutions you have enlightened here in our institutional practices. And with the kind consent of Professor Apparao sir, I would like to declare that this session will be over here. I will also thankful to all the participants for their patience listening and active participation in the interaction and the questionnaire session. Thank you sir, thank you so much. Participants, there will be a little bit instructions for you. So please wait for 2 minutes only, then we will conclude.
I wish you all the best. With your kind permission, I am leaving the.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your precious time, sir. For sparing your precious time. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, so participants, as a part of assessment of this program, we are going to conduct the MCQ test. Okay, I have put the link in our WhatsApp group as well as your email. The test will be, one second.